These days, the Justin Trudeau Liberals are truly so desperate that they'll attack the Conservatives on pretty much anything, even if it makes them look completely stupid in the process. And this week, they're pretending to be economically illiterate in order to have an excuse to attack the Conservatives. So they put this post out on X yesterday. It's a story about one of Trudeau's advisors being a Loblaws lobbyist. A big who cares? There's a lot of lobbyists in every single party, and I doubt the Liberals would want you tearing through who's worked for them and who they've worked for in the past. And this post has the header, Pierre Poilievre, he'll cut everything but your grocery bill. That doesn't make sense in any way. If Pierre Poilievre cuts everything, your grocery bill will go down. There's no way that your grocery bill would not fall if Pierre Poilievre cut things like taxes, regulations, government spending. Inflation would then go down because of that, and then thusly your grocery bill would go down. I don't know who wrote this post. It's like they've never taken an economics 101 class. That is actually impossible. And you could say, well, they would let Loblaws price gouge people. If taxes, regulations, all this other stuff went down and Loblaws tried to price gouge you, Loblaws wouldn't be a grocery store for very long because they would get undercut by Sobeys, they'd get undercut by Safeway, smaller grocery retailers. But I guess the Liberal Party's communications team doesn't know this. They think it's actually the government's job to tell the grocery stores what to put the price of bread at, what to price milk at, what to, put all their other items on. Like they seem to think that we actually do in fact live in the Soviet Union or Nazi Germany or fascist Italy, where commissars actually go to big retailers and they tell them what they must price things out as, which is actually something that happened in all three of those places, despite the fact that the left pretends that Nazis are far right. They're very far left, and you couldn't sell something in Nazi Germany without someone telling you what the price was. And not that the Liberals are actually trying to price fix everything. They would like to price fix everything, but even the Liberals are not cutting grocery prices. They're passing something known as, I think it's like the customers like the grocery bill of rights or something like that, which is this vague bill where the Liberals are stopping price gouging. They can't name any price gouging on specific items, but they're going to stop it because reacting to inflation is price gouging. Not just the fact that the Liberals have injected so many extra dollars into the economy. Naturally, grocery stores are going to have to ask for more money for each item because each dollar they're being given is worth far less. Anyways, here's another video that the Liberals put up of supposed experts opposing Pierre Poilievre's housing plan. So not only is it the Liberals pretending to be stupid, it's experts pretending to be stupid on this issue, or they should just have their PhDs repossessed. It's probably the more permanent solution to this problem.
Everything that Mr. Poilievre is talking about in terms of a problem can only be solved through long-term infrastructure policy, and there's no evidence that decreasing government spending, which is fairly low anyhow when it comes certainly to direct government intervention in housing, is going to help any of the problems identified by Mr. Poilievre.
It's much more complicated than just a problem of a single prime minister or premier. And we all need to expect more of our policy leaders to give us the hard truths about the comprehensive changes that we're going to need to make.
Wouldn't one of those hard truths be the fact that we actually have to reduce the immigration rate? We cannot handle 500,000 new immigrants every year, plus students, plus temporary foreign workers, and expect that the housing prices are just going to fall over time as if we just wish upon a star enough that enough houses will appear. It will eventually happen. Just not how it works. That first lady acting like, well, we can't just pretend like Mr. Poilievre's plan or by cutting out government waste, government intervention, that we can bring down the price of housing. The thing is, they're not even saying that the Liberal plan is good. They're not saying any of that. They're just basically making excuses. Well, it's very complicated. It's like you just hear this from a surgeon, they zip you open or whatever, do some heart surgery. They're like, oh, it was so complicated in there. Oh, you wouldn't understand it. So we didn't get anything done. It was just difficult. It doesn't matter if the Liberals think the housing issue is difficult. Telling Canadians, well, we looked through the regulatory books, we looked through all the problems, and it's complicated. How about the government tries to do less and makes the housing market less complicated, and maybe more houses will be built. I'm not sure if you've seen the housing build charts, like the data, but there's actually been, as the Liberals have been pursuing this silly housing acceleration fund policy, houses since 2020 have been going down. The new houses being started have been going down. I've never seen something like it. And I don't know how, like, Minister, like Housing Minister Sean Fraser, doesn't realize what the problem is, since he literally used to be the immigration minister. I agree that local zoning laws and building codes are not the federal government's problem, although they keep trying to inject more environmental regulations on the industry. At the same time, he was the person letting in 500,000 new people a year, and he's like, I don't know how we don't have enough houses. Well, maybe it's because we can't build houses overnight, and we just simply do not have the room in Canada in terms of actually built infrastructure. Regardless. Anyways, that should be it for me today. If you want to donate to the Give Send Go for the TNT legal fund, that would really help us out. We have just some crazy billionaire trying to sue us, has no evidence we've defamed him. We have evidence that everything that we said about him is true, and it was all based off things that all people had already said, but he's just trying to bully us to seem like some big man that everything bad is ever said about him is untrue. Very annoying, but if you want to go to that link and donate, that helps me out. And then also, Wyatt Claypool, I'm running for the Calgary Signal Hill Conservative Party nomination. This is what the riding looks like on the west side of Calgary. If you live in this riding, buy a Conservative Party membership. Vote for me number 1 on your ballot whenever the nomination date comes up, probably after April, because the riding boundaries are changing in April. And the riding right now, the race is packed full of a lot of Aaron O'Toole-style red Tories, people in charge of censorship policy at Facebook during COVID, people who went on vacation to Hawaii while enforcing harsh lockdowns in Alberta. A lot of people who really are just looking for a seat and don't actually care about making the country a better place. They're people probably too cowardly to actually push forward real reforms that we need on the federal level. Anyways, that should be it for me today. I should mention the campaign website is in the description below, wyattclaypool.com. Even if you don't live in the area, you can donate as well, but it is wyattclaypool.com if you want to go check out that campaign page. I always forget to mention that. Anyways, that should be it for me today, and I'll see you guys in my next video.